What is going on, everybody?
Woo! Wow,
Woo!
I still look tired, even though I'm smiling. Holy smokes, long day.
See, that's the advantage I have. When you're ugly 24/7, it don't matter. Tired, it doesn't matter. You just always look the same, right?
You know what? I should be used to it then. What's up,
Oh,
everybody?
it doesn't even matter what's going on, guys. This is my first foray into the late night arena of chat. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give this a whirl. We're going to see how it goes. We are going to have some fun tonight. There's no plan. There's no plan. We're just going to talk. We're going to shoot the shit. We're gonna see what happens. You know, that's all there is to it. So let's see who we got in chat here, Mark. First one in. I see Catfishing with Kaz. I see Justin's Fishing Fetish, Pontoon Jody, Mr. Freddie. What's going on, Freddie? Great job of assistant hosting in the tournament today. You kept up great despite all the craziness. So hats off to you, brother. And that dance, by the way, on Hazard's channel.
No comment, Freddie.
No, that is burned into my brain. That's all
I'm thinking Chad is renegotiate or rethinking his contract with you. So we'll see what happens.
He might have to put a wardrobe rider in the contract.
Next one.
Say that. Fishing Local 252. What's going on? Danimal, the fabricator himself. What's going on, man? Mr. Lynn, I see you in chat. Stan, my original broadcast brother. What's going on, brother? I'm glad to see you in chat and feeling better and hanging out with us again. I see Cody from 3+1 Hooks and Hammocks. Chris, what's happening, brother? I see Mr. Chris Everett, Big Skip Fishing. I see Chad. Chad's lurking. Chad like he always does. He's lurking. He's spying on us. Let's see who else we got in here, brother. Brian B. What's happening, Brian B? Mrs. Catfish Regulators. What's going on? Let's see. Hope I ain't missing anybody. Lyle. Oh, we have Papa Smurf with us in chat.
What's up, Lyle?
The original. We have Lyle with us. It ain't a party without Lyle. It is not a party like. And of course, Mr. Tim Molina. I see him hanging around with us. Let's see. Big John. What's happening, man? Big Bill, J&S.
That's my father's nickname, Big John, by the way.
Really? Oh, I like that. Hey, we gotta
my
behave.
Favorite to 4.
We gotta behave, Mark.
Has he been behaving?
No.
Let us know in the chat.
No, I'll tell you right now, I hadn't been behaving. I'll answer that question right now. No. Fishing for Whiskers. What's going on? Mr. Dale Hayslip. I see Van with the V3 Customs. Mr. Murillo is with us. SK. What's going on, SK? Another deal. You talk about a late night king right there. He's got it all figured out.
SK is one of my mentors / crappie idols, most definitely. I listen to what he has to say whenever he does, and I'm always honored to see him in my live streams and stuff. So
if I would know half of what SK has forgotten about catching Sackley, I'd be a bad son gun. Let me tell you.
You would.
Man. Miss Nina, I see JR Gray 420, Potomac River Monsters. Man, we got all kinds of people in chat. And it's every time I think I get to the bottom, it jumps on me again. I guess
there's Richard War, Mad Catter, Catfishing. There's a gentleman I met. He's a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's a gentleman. I believe he's the gentleman. I know he made the rod rack. I believe that Matt over at Wanted to Be Outdoors won that, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that now. Beautiful piece, too. Absolutely.
It is. It looks really nice.
All right. And I think to round out the end, we got Fat Boy Eric, Miss Joy, Tiger Muskie. I see Miss Michelle, Real and Virtual, Chunky. What's going on, Chunky? You get 2, brother. You get 2. What's happening, my man? Good to see you in here. Let's see. Big Skip, Brian. I know it said Brian B, but I'm going to say hi to him twice. It's worth it. Jerry Parker, what's going on, brother?
It's
David
always
Smith.
a safe bet to say hello a second time.
Oh, it's always good.
It never goes wrong.
I want to say hi, especially this lady right here, Miss Dee Dee. Met her in some chats a while back. We've been having some fun lately, and we're going to have some fun tonight, I promise. Good to see you in here, Miss Dee Dee.
Look, there's D. We can't forget D.
My favorite fields. I'm
Mine
assuming your
too,
favorite.
without a doubt.
Without
And
a
we got
doubt.
Mike Chavez in there. We got to get him in there.
No, that's it. I'm hungry now. Mike Chavez, he's in here. I'm hungry now. And we got the man, Epic Catfish, in the house. What's up, Epic?
What's going on, Tim?
I know you've been busy, brother. Let's see. Well, hopefully I didn't miss anybody. I
see Tinkerbell in there. I see It's All Mine. How you doing, Michelle? I'm just covering you. I'm not trying to.
You're not covering me, buddy.
I see Justin's Fishing Fetish. Scott Swift in the house. What's going on? Mike Irvin, I see in there. Let's see a few more. There's one that I seen popping up here and there. It just scrolled off. Who Junior Gray 420.
Mm-hmm.
Since this is a late night chat, we all know what that 420 means, but we're not going to get into it just yet.
I'm going to act like I don't know what you're talking about, Mark.
I want to see that glass of yours. Cheers.
You want to see? Well, I'm going to show you your side.
Oh, look at that.
How about that, huh? Show you your side first. And then that's my favorite side.
I don't even have one of them. Just you and Becca got those. That's it.
Side. Love that cup, Mark. I love it. So earlier we were, before we went live, we were talking about, future plans. Everybody's talking about the new year. What are we going to do? What did we learn from last year? What are we maybe going to keep doing or do different this coming year? And I know, focus on the channels was a really, really, really big thing. We all have limited time. Most of us out there have full-time jobs, that we're trying to take care of and do YouTube and do the editing and do everything else. It's a lot. It's a lot, and you have to use your time wisely, right, Mark?
What time you got left?
Yeah,
that's kind of a trick question right there. You're pretty much, you're treading water sometimes trying to get the YouTube stuff done. I'm not going to lie. It gets to be an awful lot. Or you'll set aside time to get it done, and life happens, whether it's family stuff or work stuff or health issues in these trying times.
Yep, that's right.
It's definitely a challenge. But you've been going at this for quite some time, and I noticed your sub count today was at 939 subscribers.
Yes.
That puts you at 61 away from the coveted 1K. And I'm going to ask the good people in chat, share this out, man. Give the thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, do you know how to use subscriber only mode, Creel?
No, I do not.
Actually. We're going to have to set you up with subscriber only mode. That'll help you. We'll get you that 60 subs. So share this stuff out. I see LG Bass came in. We can't ignore him.
Mr. 365 himself.
But we'll show you how to do that. It's very simple. I won't be showing you anything. I'll just show you where to find it.
No, that's fine.
You'll get that on there. Hopefully people will share it out. We got, I heard something today in one of the live streams about not mentioning how many subs are on the screen, because as soon as you do, they are not subs, but how many people are watching. As soon as you do, it goes down. I think they're right. So one of my things for the new year is I'm going to say, hey, I got a whole bunch of good people watching. We're not going to mention numbers.
That's right. And who I think I might have been watching the same live you were when they actually said that out loud. And sure enough, the minute you say the number, it goes down a few. Go for it. But if you're sitting there staring at it, it's going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I've learned not to look at it, to be honest with you. I'm looking at chat. We got people wanting to talk with us. Hey, if it's 5 or 500, doesn't matter. I have fun either way. You know what I mean?
It's like you're talking to one person. I figure that's usually the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Like you're talking to a good friend you haven't seen in a while, or you're looking forward to see. That's the best way to be. And I definitely get that vibe whenever I see you on the screen, Creel.
See, you're flattering me, Mark, and flattery will get you pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a sucker for that. I know, because when I go in other people's lives, and it took me a while to realize that about myself, and I guess everybody's the same way. Whoever's running the live, if they really just interact with everybody there, and they I guess for lack of a better term, they make everybody feel special that they're there. They treat everybody who put a comment the same, whether they have a channel or not, how big their channel is, it doesn't matter. That's the ones I find hanging around in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a balancing act because you do want to provide them, and this is just me. You want to provide them with entertaining content, right? And a lot of times, it's hard to balance that and the attention to the people in chat.
That's right.
You know, the individualized attention in chat. But we try. We do the best we can, folks. So understand that. So if we do miss you, like Mark Anthony, I see him in there. If we do miss you in saying hello, or we miss a question or stuff, forgive us. We're trying the best we can, and we're doing whatever we can to provide the best show possible. So,
and
make sure I put that out there because and that's self-serving of me because I always feel guilty when I miss a question because I'll go back through the chat and see what I didn't do. I mean, that's all part of the growing process. So.
Now, Mark, you've done this live stuff a lot more than I have, a lot more experience in it, everything else. I know for me, when I get in these lives, whether it be one that I'm doing or one that I'm a guest on somebody else's show, it seems like it passes so fast.
It does.
It seems like it goes by a blur.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Not always. And sometimes you're like, this. Oh my God, I'm choking here. I'm having a bad day. I'm not doing as good a job as I think I should be doing, or I missed that. I missed this, or the chat starts going crazy on itself, or somebody gets mean and nasty in chat. It'll throw you off your game. But you know what you do? You finish the night off. You get it done, and then you just do better the next time. I have a saying. Don't worry, be crappy, and you'll get better the next time. And it happens to be true. And it doesn't take much effort to do that. You just got to keep giving it effort. So,
no, absolutely not. But my wife and I were having an interesting discussion yesterday, and it made me realize the way my crazy mind works. But we're all sitting there watching YouTube. We probably all start off watching catfishing at some point. But at a certain point, you start doing this and you start going off in the weeds. And before you know it, you're watching who knows what. Now, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm going to tell you what my who knows what has been the past week or so. There's a couple of channels out there that I cannot tell you the name of the channels. I don't remember. But basically, all these guys do is go buy really old, dilapidated trucks, big trucks with Detroit engines, get them running and blow them up.
Are you talking about is Diesel Brothers? Not Diesel Brothers. That's the show that was on. There's a one diesel guy that does a bunch of stuff like that. Yeah, I get caught up in that stuff too. I have my car shows. I have my cooking shows.
Yep.
And every now and then I'll fall down a rabbit hole. Conspiracy rabbit holes. I've done that. If I'm up late, that's probably why.
And it's just before you know it, you forget. Like, well, wait a minute. I started out watching a fishing live, and I'm watching this guy basically blow an engine apart and catch it on fire. Like, what happened? Where did we go off in the weeds?
Oh, I know. Okay, I'm going to mention his channel. It's called Learn Something Every Day, I believe. Fantastic channel. He's got like gobs and gobs and gobs of subs. I mean, like one of them ridiculous channels. And he used to be an engineer for NASA. So he started this channel out and he built a carburetor, Jeremy, out of plexiglass and plastic. So you could see exactly what carburetor does. Now, I like to think I can work on cars, but I'm terrible at carburetors and transmissions. Just something I never really gave a lot of time for. And in that 20-minute video that he had with his father, who helped him build this carburetor, was a carburation genius. I learned so much. I mean, it's not just entertainment; it's learning, it's community building. It's really become a part of our lives, hasn't it?
It is. And I've worked on stuff and tinkered with stuff most of my life. And a part of me will never leave that behind. Even though I don't do the fast car thing anymore. I got out of all of that.
But it's right here though, still, isn't it?
It definitely is. It definitely is. It'll never leave me completely. And stuff like that still grabs my attention. Let me tell you something. A Lope Cam, the big block, will still turn my head.
When you hear it. When I hear that Harley Davidson, because I used to build Harley Davidsons, when I hear a Harley Davidson in the distance, my ears perk up like a dog. They just pop up with a dog whistle. Way to go, always.
Yep, you and my brother would get along great because he is neck deep into the Harley world right now. Like he's in the middle of building his, constantly adding to it back and forth, and he is just absolutely dove head first in the Harley world. And I'm like, hey, dude, if that's what you like to do, go for it, man. Don't let me talk you out of it.
Absolutely. We got a bunch of people naming some of them. Like somebody named a channel. What was it? Stale Cracker. Never heard of that one. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
And then there's this. I catch so much grief from her for watching the Oak Island stuff. Look, it fascinates me, and she tells me every time at the end of the episode, I'm just all up in it. She's like, they didn't find nothing, did they? I'm like, you know what? Leave me alone.
How many Bigfoot episodes can you watch on TV? A lot. You know they're never going to find him, right?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not. But I will say this. I know you've seen that Monster Quest show on the History Channel.
I did.
You've seen it. Have you seen the episode about the what they call them panthers, but the large black cats
in Florida?
In Florida,
I think I did. I might recall some of it. Yeah,
we have them here. We have them here. I've seen them.
Well, I mean, there's plenty for them to eat. I don't see why they wouldn't be there. If they're
mountain lions. There are mountain lions that are jet black. There's no mystery. There they are. They must have been running out of ideas when they made that episode because I've seen. I spent years surveying, in the woods. I've seen quite a few of them and pretty up close. It's not a big deal. We know they're there. It's a rare sight, but they're there. I just thought it was kind of cool to see it on TV. Like they're talking about it like it's Bigfoot. I'm like, dude, I seen one the other day. No.
Stan, what did Stan say? He said Bigfoot is hiding with the Rougarou.
That's the Rougarou. That is a South Louisiana Cajun legend right there. That's a whole other wormhole right there.
Is it kind of like the Chupacabra?
It falls into that same category. It falls into the cryptid category.
Okay.
It's the same thing. That's basically a story that the old Cajun women would tell their kids to scare them, to make them behave and go to bed.
I don't know, man. I've scared my nieces, and the last thing they want to do is go to bed. I think it's more of a revenge thing when it comes to moms. It's payback.
All right, Epic. I like. Okay, I can't even pronounce that.
Lycanthrope.
Epic. We're 10 minutes into this, and you're going over my head, buddy. I love you though. I'm going to assume that means something to do with a werewolf. Lycanthrope, maybe?
Lycanthrope? It could very well be. I think I know what it means, but I'm not going to take a stab at something I don't have an idea about. I've gotten bit pretty much doing a few times doing that. So,
okay. Oh, we must take a pause. We must take a pause. We have an extremely special guest who needs no introduction. But I'm going to give him one anyway. Okay. We all know him. We all love him.
Oh, I knew it was going to be Chad.
Fellas.
Good job today, buddy.
Thank you. And it's lycanthrope.
Lycanthrope?
What's in your drink tonight?
This is fruit punch. And
yeah.
Hey, you know what? This is late night. The kids are in bed. It's okay. Now, my drink is unleaded tonight. Believe it or not, I have just Mountain Dew. We're unleaded tonight. Just throwing that out there.
Right. I just woke up about an hour ago, and I still ain't awake.
I was going to say, aren't you tired after being out?
Dude,
I know you are.
I didn't last long when we got home today. That wind beat us to death. But I am so glad that Dee was so tired that she did not pull a Laura and take pictures of me.
Oh, you got to bring that up, huh, Chad?
I did. I had to bring it up. But
Wow. But hey, don't. Hey, that's the only time I've ever looked cute is when I'm sleeping. Apparently, because
Yeah.
dude, I was bundled up. I was so comfortable.
you were pretty adorable, bro.
I know I was right. Keep it. That didn't last. It did not last. But Chad, I mean, dude, you had a busy day. The wind beating the absolute hell out of y'all on the water, turning the boat everywhere, trying to keep up with all the screens, trying to keep up with chat, trying to keep Freddie in line.
And on a phone, no less. That's right.
And on a phone. So, dude, my
busy.
hat off to you.
I was going to hop in there and try to give you a hand, but all the boxes were taken up. I'm like, okay, it's my turn to watch.
You know?
So I enjoyed the morning. I had a good time. You entertained me, all you guys.
Hey, I appreciate it.
That's right.
We did have fun.
That's right, Lori. I was all bundled up.
Yeah, thank goodness for Trophy Seeker and them big old fish today. And there was a lot of fish actually caught. We would have caught more if it wasn't obviously for the weather. It totally messes up. It had nothing to do with my fishing skills or lack thereof. So we're going to blame it on that today.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you really want to get down to it, the people who did the best had the best weather.
It is true.
There's no, I mean, the warmest weather won. How about that?
I don't know, man. When you're comfortable, you fish better. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh yeah.
You really do. If you're not shivering, you're not missing bites. You know, it just works out better. And obviously, weather conditions always help too. But I've seen some pretty massive fish come out in the worst weather conditions too. So
yeah. Normally, that I normally tend to do better, like overcast, rain, and all that kind of stuff. But it's just so strong a wind, so strong a current, and everybody knows how much I love anchoring. So,
oh yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too. You were anchored today, weren't you?
Yeah, tried.
Setting hooks, like, is Chad anchored? I'm leaving. I've seen it all.
It was horrible. That's like the 18th best way to fish.
Well, the thing is, when you can't get your boat where you want it, and you can't seem to put baits where you want them to be, that's a very frustrating thing.
Yeah,
very, 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 very frustrating. I had to put that up there. I had to. I couldn't help myself. My finger just slid over and hit the button, and I don't know how that got up there.
When you had that backlash today, Chad, I thought you were just going to voluntarily throw your pole over the side. I ain't doing this. Forget it.
I about told her just reel up. We'll just go to the truck and finish the show.
That is one of the big benefits to bank fishing. When you get mad, you want to throw your pole, you can usually retrieve it because you throw it behind here around the parking lot. Done that. So.
I'm upsetting Epic in here. He's calling me a blasphemy.
Hey, if you're gonna have an argument or a discussion that doesn't put anchoring at the top, you got to convince him of that. And good luck with that. I can't convince him that bumping is.
I may never convince him, but that won't ever tell me that Epic is right in this situation. I'm always right. I'm always right. I've only been wrong once in the last decade.
Well,
unless you can see that I'm wrong all the time.
You're never wrong, but I will tell you there are times that you're less right.
Well, yeah, that's true.
How about that?
But most of my conversations, when I'm discussing this, is between me and myself, so I usually win.
See, you see that, huh, Chad?
Anchoring, we've had this discussion. Anchoring is an art form, and it's not an easy one. Anchoring in deep, fast waters, I haven't done it, much of it at all. It's got to be a pain. So you were fishing in, how deep were you anchoring in?
We was going about 45. Where I wanted to get up to was way deeper part of the channel, but it was up. The wind was coming straight down the river at an angle, and without having any kind of blocking going on with the wind, going against 20-mile-an-hour winds, going 30-mile-an-hour upstream, I wasn't having it. So we just chilled and had a little fun today.
There you go.
You know, Epic's good on the anchor. You know who else has some good anchored videos is Chris Souders. He's got some good anchored videos.
Yeah.
But that 100-foot anchor rope, that's not fun.
I keep 300 on my boat.
Wow.
Well, I actually technically I keep 600. I keep 300 in the front, 300 in the back.
Yeah.
Yep, I have two 300-foot anchor rope bags that stay with me. Yep.
I have 200-foot spools that I keep in my boat that are brand new. I never had to crack them open. I use 100-foot that I split in half and made 250s out of it. That's all I need, and I still got half of it left in the boat. I'm putting 25 feet out for it's 5 times the depth and 5 feet, so I'm good with that. But I got it in case I need it when I go other places.
Yeah, and you see on average, I'm anchoring anywhere from 40 to 80 feet of water. You know, that's my average. Now, look, I will almost tell you that anchoring is tied for first with bumping with my favorite way to fish, and that is because of the takedowns.
Yeah,
that's why. Bumping is fun, dragging is fun. It's all fun, but you will never ever replace in my heart a good solid just takedown in those rod holders. There's nothing like seeing that.
I just like action of moving the boat. You know, it gives me something to do, keeping in line, and I'm always, it just keeps me busy.
You know, my one downside or one thing that I don't really like as much with dragon baits is you'll get on a fish and you're losing that spot sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't know where they're at. You'll have to turn around and drag that whole spot again. Where if I was anchored up on that spot and I had a better way of keeping track of it, I could get on them and stay on them while they're there. You know, get them 5 fish out of that spot and move on to the next. But, you know, what I've been using Dragon Base for is finding where those spots are at certain times of the year and come back that same week and anchor up on them and do just as well. So I've been doing some of that this year too.
Yeah, and see, with bumping, it's the same thing. You know, we'll be going along, and the second I have a fish hit that bumping rod, I'm looking to the side. I'm looking at a tree. I'm looking at something on the bank. Like, okay, that's where that's. If I know where my boat was, I know where my line was. Mm-hmm. And then when we pull up and make another run, I'm eyeballing that spot. And if a fish hits 3 times in 3 passes, and it hits in the same spot, I'm starting to find a way to anchor on them. Because I know there's a lot of fish there. I need to get more than one bait in that area.
Now if I have any current, which is then the last year has been really rough, but the year prior to that, if I have any current, I'll use my spot lock, but I don't have Mississippi or Ohio currents.
Yeah.
I'll use spot lock and I'll use the smallest drift sock I have, and boom, I'm set. I can move as fast as anybody with talons. You know what I mean? I just got to pull that drift sock in, and I'm done, and I'm good. That I like. That's my favorite way to fish right there. I like to anchor up using that method. So what's going on, Bex?
What's on, Bex? We got a bunch of people that's come in. Fishing the Dream. What's going on, man? We got Bex that's come in with us. Laura the Explorer, I gotta mention her. One of my favorite lady anglers. How you doing? Mr. Scott Swift is in. Which Scott Swift wouldn't he one of Haz's dancers in the live? Yeah.
I was watching that in the background. There's a lot of people in there, and I had a couple of streams going, so I apologize. I'm saying hello now if you guys were in there. So
yeah, that was good for the soul. To laugh that hard, you know that
when I woke up and walked out of the bedroom and Dee had that on, she was actually watching it after the replay.
Yeah,
I walked in and I just shook my head and had to. But to be honest, it was Freddie up there whenever I walked in, and
oh yeah, that was yeah.
I had to go reconsider his contract, which I did receive a. Email from the No Script Cruise lawyer per se, so I may have to talk to mine, Mark, here before long to see what we can draft up. Luckily, they basically told him no, because we have a legally binding agreement. So,
well, you better add a wardrobe rider in the contract. I'm just throwing that out there.
We'll check when he's up for renewal.
Yeah.
I'm going to give some, I'm trying not to give away too many ideas, trying to keep them close to the chest this year, but I'm going to give one out to everybody in chat here. If you noticed, Freddie was wearing a green suit, and with the green suit, you can overlay graphics onto said suit. So have at it, people.
Ooh, that's a big one right there.
Let the shenanigans commence.
Let them begin. And guys, right there, those are my hometown boys, Gumbo Attitude Podcast crew.
I would say that's the one you did the podcast with.
Yes. That's my boys right there. So if y'all looking for a good podcast, cover any topic y'all can possibly imagine, current events, food, hunting, fishing, anything, y'all go check these guys out.
That was a good list.
Well, let's go back to about 20, 25 minutes while I was sitting in the basement waiting for you to notice me for about 20, 25 minutes.
Okay.
Do they also do, you said hunting and all that, do they do anything about the Bigfoot and the Chupacabra or whatever that's down there?
Possibly.
I just want
to talk about anything.
I heard if you can find Bigfoot, you can find the hippopotamus catfish. I think they travel together, one on land, one on water.
There you go.
So everybody in chat start looking when you find it.
You sound like you're pretending like you don't believe in Bigfoot, Mark. Bigfoot's real.
That. Did I say that, Creel?
I don't.
Well, it sounds like you're making stuff up.
You specifically saying those words. No,
I told you what I heard.
Bigfoot is real. Bigfoot is real.
Bigfoot is real.
I thought I saw him in chat.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and maybe since this is after hours and we're kind of off
there
the record here, right?
There you go.
I believe as much in Bigfoot as I do somebody won the last election. On that note, I'm going to go let Coco out. Be right back. So sit tight, folks.
I'm telling you, Bigfoot is real.
Yeah, Avid. He'll probably be here later.
Yeah.
See,
that's a domesticated. That's a domesticated Bigfoot.
Yeah, I agree. He has a show on Sunday night. We all know Bigfoot, right?
Yeah. Man,
look, who knows with all that stuff? Who knows? 100 years ago, there was a lot of things that we know now that everybody thought was basically bull back then. So, who knows? If I see one digging in my trash, then I'll know. You know what I mean?
That's right, brother.
Oh, man.
See, and even right there, Epic says, I found the hippopotamus catfish, Mark.
Yeah, he did, actually. Yeah, he did. He did. And you know what? As big as a fish as he caught, he's still looking for a bigger one.
Oh, that's always the dream.
It doesn't matter how big they get. You just want them. Want them bigger.
You think the guy that caught the 143 out there in Kerr,
yeah,
the world record. Do you think he goes out there not looking for a 144 plus?
I know, right? Because in my mind, I don't care how big a fish anybody catches. To me, it's impossible that was the biggest fish in that body of water. There's got to be one bigger, no matter what. That's my attitude.
Yeah.
There's got to be. Oh, that's a good one right there.
I like Gumbo.
I like that.
I love that he's back.
Oh no! Oh, it was so strange pulling up a live that and Stan wasn't there. It's like I didn't know how to handle that. I tell you, gotta have my boy Stan. That was a good one.
Oh look, my glass filled itself back up.
Oh, funny how that happens. I got a feeling it's going to empty itself again just as fast, probably, huh?
How about that? We'll see.
Yeah.
We had a few of the Catfish family fall asleep on during streams. I don't want to be the next one.
I promise we wouldn't laugh at you for long. 90 to 100 days, I'll say.
I will not promise anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I know you don't speak for everybody and chatting on screen, so
I don't speak for myself. What you talking about? You would provide us with jokes for the whole year.
and it's only January. Can you
Yeah,
believe
and it's
already
only January.
15th?
Was that?
It's already January 15th. It'll be February, and then it's done.
It'll be next year before you know it. I look that's why anybody who's saying, okay, well, new year, new me, new year, new channel, however you want to look at it, it's no use you put it off. If you got big plans for your channel, do it. Just don't talk about it. Go do it, because it passes very fast.
So, Chad, how do you feel the tournament went? Are you happy with the outcome? Not just the winner, but how it ran from start to finish, and the donations raised and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I'll always say whether we get $1 or 20 grand, I'd be happy that we made something. But the amount of people that we had watching, the caliber of the ladies and gents that fished in it, I could have asked for better than that, And my YouTube channel, my new channel, is already awesome, off to an awesome start because of everybody that's been a part of it so far. And I already feel like a great YouTuber because I've already gotten the thumbs down thing going. So we're, on mostly every channel.
There you go.
I feel like I've already made it on the new channel.
Tim wants to have an anchoring, drifting, bumping fight. Convince me.
If it would be anybody else, I would have a serious discussion. But I cannot argue with him about it because he catches bigger fish than anybody else.
Big fish, and he's just that thing called attrition with them.
Here's my thing, though. He's got anchoring versus drifting and bumping, but where's dragging?
Well,
dragging's better than drifting and bumping and anchoring. So
drifting falls into that category.
Nah, I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, it depends on how you're either dragging bait or you're suspend drifting. It's two different forms in my book.
And Grim Reaper catfishing. What's going on, man?
I happen to know somebody that catches monsters on the regular way more often than Epic ever dreamed of catching big fish. That's right. I just called Epic out. I just called him a second-class catfisherman because he doesn't drag baits, and he's hooked up on this. We're probably going to get him. He's going to be coming in here bull rushing me like a hippo or a rhino at a fire here in a minute.
Mark, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to smell a 1-versus-1 coming.
I know. Abort, Epic, you're the best. I'm just playing.
Let me just do you a favor right there, Chad. Let me
that. Bring him back in.
Yeah, bring it back.
Kick me out of here before I get my rear end kicked.
Hide, abort.
I think honestly, there's all methods are good and used in different. It's just different water, different waters that you can do them in and different circumstances. I had a stand 2 Mountain Dew, and I just woke up, so I don't know where I'm at. I'm delirious.
All right, I'm getting. All right, I'm gonna have to send some.
Oh God! Don't send him the link. Look, that done started something. I'm gonna come in here.
Hey, I'm just saying, you started this. You gonna have to finish it. I'm just telling you.
You ain't getting no sleep tonight, Chad. You're in trouble.
Y'all just give me a second to get this.
Tim Lena says Chad's mouth just wrote a check. His butt can't cash. Can cash. I think he meant can't.
And as of right now, I just called the bank, so we're gonna see.
Oh God, Lord have mercy.
Oh, this is gonna get good.
Maybe this person's like the Bigfoot of catfishing. I'm just talking out my ears.
I believe we're gonna find out here in a couple of minutes.
Evan said, "Yeah, I'm coming in.
I'm coming in."
And no, Grim Reaper catfishing. No, I'm not gonna lie. I have not seen that channel name before, So I'm a little
What?
embarrassed to say I'm not sure.
Who?
But I imagine you're going to educate me here in just a minute, though. I'm looking for that.
Here,
Who is
I'm gonna go to smoke here for a second.
Yeah.
Being I'm going dark, and I left an audio average. This is my prediction for the next few minutes. You ready? Only instead of Brian B, it's
Oh. Yes. That is classic. Oh, Scott, it's gonna be a little while, boy. That river's going crazy. You know that. I wouldn't it ain't gonna be an early year. I can tell you that right now. It ain't gonna be an early year. Yep, I look, I'm terrible with channel names and who they are, and
I don't know who that is either.
yeah, I'm sure when the name's gonna come up, I'm gonna be,
Oh, that's
like that.
Turner.
Huh?
He just said it's Mike Turner.
Is it? No.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I'm reading my comments. I'm looking. I don't.
Oh,
okay.
Brian B just said.
Well, hey, I like the name. I like the name. I will tell you now. I love the name. If that's the case.
Okay.
That's Mike T. Okay. All right. Y'all gotta warn me about these things. But now I know. But I am not ashamed to say I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend I know who you are and ride it out for 6 months.
Now, before Epic comes in here,
you are not leaving.
It's time for bed for me.
No, it's not.
No, but
No, it's not.
I think it's what you feel comfortable with when it comes to that.
Oh, I am 100%. I first learned how to do this anchoring up, and there's just a part of me I feel more comfortable anchoring doing anything else because that's what I know.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting extremely comfortable bumping because I've got a lot of time in doing it. I'm learning the suspend drifting. I'm learning the dragging. I'm learning the rest because look, how does Patriot say that? It's tools in the toolbox.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I suck at anchoring. That's one reason I do not care for it.
Well, even though y'all area, y'all don't have a lot of current though.
Not most of the time,
Yeah, I mean, not like we do.
Definitely not like you guys do. But even setting up on stuff, I have learned a lot of like Muskrat teaching me and stuff how to precision anchor a lot better than I used to, that sort of thing. But still not the greatest at it, and I think that's why I tend to like suspend drifting or, if I can, dragging baits more.
Yeah. Well, okay, take us for example. For I'm going to say at least 60 to 70% of the year, the current is too fast in the river.
Yeah.
To drag.
Oh yeah.
Drifts dude, if I would try to drag in that river, I'd wear the bottom half off my dragging weights. I'd be going so fast. They'd be smoking when I pull them off.
You couldn't use dragging weights. You'd have to use cinder blocks to drag down there.
You having trouble? I don't see you.
Epic's going to be up all night no matter what.
Oh, I know, and I
can't take it. I done called him out. I'm getting him riled up.
I sent him the link. I don't know. I'm waiting for you to come in the basement, buddy. Because trust me, I'm fixing to ring the bell. We're fixing to have a boxing match right here.
Hey, Creel, Joy Stewart asks, Scott wants to know what bumping is. Before you answer that question, I see a bunch more people in chat or watching than there are thumbs up. So hit that thumbs up for Jeremy. Do us that favor. And can you explain to Joy what bumping is real quick?
Yeah, I mean, bumping, all it is it's a method of drift fishing to where you're physically holding the rod, moving backwards in the current, and you're bumping the bait along the bottom. You're following that bottom contour with that bait, just bumping it along, waiting for a fish to come by and slam it. It's a way of covering water in fast water and really sketchy bottom situations, Don't have it. Okay, hang on, Epic. I text it to you now, Epic. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I'm out of. Hang on, Epic. I'm trying to help you out here, buddy.
Chad, I'm going to bed without you. Good night.
Who said that?
D.
All right, I said it to you again, Epic.
There's Lyle. Come on, bud.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait for him to get in here. This is going to be so good. So Chad, well, while we're waiting on Epic, Winter Blues is done. That's in the books.
Yeah.
What do we have to look forward to next from Fields to Water?
Well, I think. See, yeah. So you were just talking about it, bumping. Next we'll be setting up the Bumping for Biggins tournament in the end of May.
And that definitely got my attention when you first told me what you were planning on doing.
Yeah, I've never seen even guys when they've caught some monster fish, some really good fish out there. I've never seen some guys jump for joy like you and Bumping my Greenwell.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
When I mentioned it.
That looks
Epic, I'm going to post the link in chat for you to click on. This link is for Epic for him to come in. Apparently, the text message thing is not working out too good.
You can always delete it after he comes in too.
Oh yeah.
I wonder
We'll just do it. I don't know why the text message thing isn't working out, so we'll do it the old-fashioned way. But anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're good.
But so okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're even ready to roll out everything. I don't know if you've got
I have
all
no
the
idea.
rules. Okay, so basically right now it's going to be a bumping tournament, and that's all we have for the time being, correct?
Here's what I'm thinking about it. It'll be an individual tournament.
Mm-hmm.
One rod. Obviously, you could have a
Gotcha.
spare rod or two if you want. That way, you've always got it set up. Oh God, here we go.
So
The mad scientist.
I am going to let you explain yourself first before I make any judgment.
Don't fall for it. It's a trick.
I don't know what you said. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what y'all said.
Did I hear something wrong in the last 10 minutes?
What do you mean?
Something I heard somebody's catching bigger fish than me all day, every day, or something to that occasion, and I want to know what this pattern is.
Yeah, he's related to Bigfoot. You just never see him.
The mythical, the unicorn guy. No, but I'm actually seriously interested in bumping. Believe this or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have been contemplating this situation now for about 10 years. Even though I get on the water, Jeremy, your thing just now came in on my messages. So anyways,
we're gonna have to work on your service, bro.
I seriously have been contemplating this, and every time I look at the situation, I have to say no, because of the experience that I've had with big fish and the experience that I've had with moving baits, jigging, bumping, doing all that crazy stuff, especially back before I had bigger anchors and before I had all this stuff. I mean, I would get all these ideas in my mind that I was going to be able to do this or do that and the other, and it just really never panned out for giant fish. I caught plenty of fish doing it, but not giant fish, not the super.
So that is really what I was getting at earlier, Epic.
Okay.
And while I had you like fuming and you were walking around the house throwing things because all this conversation. Now hold on. And I said it to Creel just now. What makes you comfortable fishing? And it's for you, it's anchoring, right?
No, it's not. Yes, I do like anchoring. I prefer it because it's an end result game.
Yeah.
Now, if I saw that other people were catching 80s with regularity, 70s with regularity, like, okay, how much? I didn't even count, but I think we did like 5 live shows and we caught more than like 9 fish. I think we caught like over 12 fish over 50. And then we caught like 9 of those. There were over
Yeah.
70, 6 of them over 80. And then we had a couple of super monsters on. Now, if I saw somebody on YouTube bumping that was equaling that or whatever, I would have to say, okay, I'm gonna reorganize my own brain, because I'm a results guy. I'm not the guy that takes all kinds of pride in what I do. I don't care what I do. I don't care if I was using popcorn on a freaking Snoopy pole. If I can catch 90s or 80s or 70s consistently, I'm gonna do it.
Yep. No, and I agree. Like, but I do know one person, and they're not a YouTuber per se, but that they fish somewhere on the Tennessee River that puts, and this is dragging baits. They're
I know who it is.
normally
He's a
dragging
guy.
baits. So yeah, putting 70s and stuff in and they fish a lot. They obviously know the water very well too.
And that's the thing. I mean, realistically, you got to pretty much say hour to hour. All right.
Yeah.
Now, back when I was guiding, my goodness, if I was shooting YouTube back when I was guiding, it'd be ridiculous. But I only get 4 or 5 weekends a month to go after super monsters. That's it. Now, I'm not saying that I don't have special waters, because I certainly do. It's not like I'm trying to go to the Illinois River and catch 80-pound flatheads, or I'm not trying to go to the upper Mississippi and do that. No, I'm not stuck with like Arizona waters or whatever. I am lucky to live within range of monsters, but I had to learn that. I mean, no one knew it back in the day. I had to actually figure it out by going to lesser waters and being frustrated, knowing what I know, doing what I do, and finally narrowing it down. Because trust me, I didn't want to go 4 hours away. I want to go an hour away. I didn't want to do that. But now the Tennessee River is one of those things that back when I was learning it, Tennessee River didn't have that great of a catfishery. Not like they do now. Not the success that they do now. They have regulations. March Waters was absolutely terrible. I mean, 25 pounds was a big, if you fished a lot, 25 pounds is a big fish, and you would occasionally catch a 30 or a 40. Now guys can catch 30s to 50s or 40s, at least mid-40s. Relative regularity. And 40 is a beautiful thing.
40 is a big fish. That's top notch. Sure. Anything
so
bigger
basically, the Tennessee was what the Ohio River is now.
Yes, and the Ohio River has an artificial problem. And the artificial problem is a lot of the states around it have relegated some regulations to that, and it has been hit hard by the Pay Lakers, which is only a 15-year phenomenon.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Midkiff caught a 111-pounder on the Ohio.
Oh yeah.
30 years ago or 25 years ago, I can't even remember. But I mean, there used to be better fish there, but we all know that the Pay Lake situation's got to stop. How do we do that? We don't know. But anyways, the second I hear somebody say, hey, somebody's catching a lot bigger fish than me with regularity, bumping, I want to know about it. I'm not.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about bumping. I
don't have my hackle up about it, except for the way you said it.
Well, I think I've never been known to be an instigator.
I highly doubt that.
Chad, you are not an instigator, but you know what? You start shit all the time.
I do start a lot of
shit. So I'll say it.
I'll stir that pot.
I'll say it.
He's gonna sleep good tonight, no matter what happens, right?
Oh
yeah, no problems.
Yeah,
I'm freaking exhausted. But yeah, no, I've learned a lot. Like what you was just talking about, that with fishing the local tournament scene and finding out that's how I really, really found out about what Pay Lakes had done to the river. But just learning techniques and about the fisheries and stuff like that. And now I'm starting to venture, like you're saying, instead of going that half hour to an hour drive to a local spot, driving hours to find better fish, but I'm using my waters to learn how
but
to
but
do
remember,
these different techniques.
remember
Do what?
one thing. Some guys look at covering water as a way of finding fish. Okay. Now I don't think any less of anybody doing that, but I have learned how to not have to cover a bunch of water and look at it with my own eyes. Now I can go down the river and I can go up the river and I go around it and blah blah blah. I will know because of my experience level and how long I've done it where I need to focus. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to go to anyone's river and catch monsters in 3 hours. I'm not, but give me 3 days, give me 2 days, and I'm going to come up with some fish. I'm going to come up with some big fish. Now, and I'm not being a braggart. I'm just, what I'm saying is because there's a principle that all catfish have in common no matter where they swim. Doesn't matter if it's in South America. It doesn't matter if it's in Europe, and it doesn't matter if it's in Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee. It just doesn't really matter. But just remember one thing. Tournament guys are great for picking up a good bag of fish every day they have to fish, no matter what kind of situation they have. But if their goal is to either go out there and do their best at the biggest fish and sometimes blank, they would look at it differently. Just because a lot of guys drift and drag. Now, I think the drifting, the dragging, and all that stuff started pretty big about 2005, 2006, 2007. Now, they were having, especially on the Ohio River, because the Ohio River had a good catfish tournament circuit going on. And I think there was a fellow by the name of Jeremy. He was kind of a pioneer in it. There was other guys that were kind of pioneering it. And they were doing really good for the Ohio. But honestly, and I'm not cutting the Ohio down. I have fished the Ohio. The Ohio is a big lake. It is a lake riverine system. I am not a fan. For me, if you gave me the option, am I going to fish a riverine lake? And part of the Mississippi is the same way. I'm going to avoid those stretches because, to me, the way I think about it, they're dull, boring, and it takes too much time to work out a good bite. All right. Now, I'm not being critical. All I'm being is telling you what I have in my mind. If you said, Tim, take me to a new spot you've never fished before, you know what I'm going to tell you? We're going to look at a map and I'm going to go, nope, 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 yep. And it doesn't matter if it's in Minnesota all the way down to where Creel's at. If that river has been inundated by a bunch of slow water, okay, and the channel is 45, 50 foot deep, and it's not really dynamic, I don't really want to fish it. I've already been down that road. Been down that road. Matter of fact, I did it last year. A fella told me that one of the pools up north was awesome for flatheads. Well, it can be, but there's a ton of deep, dumb, slow water. And I'm sorry to say dumb, but that's how I talk about it. I said, I don't want to go there in 2 days, get rained on like Forrest Gump, and deal with lake situation. I just don't. Now, there's nothing wrong with lakes. You fish what you got. But if you have if I have an option, I want to go to dynamic river situations in which I can, in short order, pick out giant fish, and giant fish have to live there. Now, does that mean that I look down at anybody's fishing situation? Hell no. Matter of fact, I kind of envy people with that kind of patience. And as you all know from watching my stuff, I have so little patience, I don't even sit.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. I haven't sat since 3 days ago.
He's not sitting now.
Nope.
No.
Man, he's standing up now.
Never do. So, yeah. So next time, if you want to call old Epic Catfish out, I hope you have something behind it that I can learn.
Ooh, wow. And Chad, your rebuttal. Wait, hang on. Okay.
Oh, really? Want to give me? So you can
Now
see
we
that.
talking.
Look, the bait shop crashed last night. Thanks, appreciate you showing that off. I got nothing. Mississippi Missouri River is just the greatest fishery of all time, and it makes some guys look great catching them monsters down there next to my little lake river thing that they call the Ohio that has no current.
And that's what I was trying to say. I was just trying to say that
whatever.
The only thing I have
That's
to
what I
add to
was
this
trying to say.
conversation is, in my personal opinion, right?
Because
Okay.
trust me, if I had to go
There's-
catch anything over 50 pounds, that's an hour close to me. Realistically, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
And you're in the same situation, and that's why I say I understand about all that stuff. I'm not the guy that says, "Hey, I catch the biggest fish in the world because I'm the greatest." No, I understand what the fishing situation is, and I try to focus in some great areas. And I've never said, "Hey," I've never once said because somebody catches 30-pound fish is their PB or their max. Or
Oh yeah.
I've always said if you're catching top of the mark in your river, you probably got it going on.
I agree.
If you're consistently catching them, hey, that's awesome. I got friends that are really frustrated with the Ohio, and they just tell me, they're like, yeah, because they fished with me. They're like, dude, we beat our brains out for 50s on the Ohio. I understand it. I really do. And my hat's off.
That's a hell of a fish around here anymore.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But you see that statement right there from Justin, that's the same thing that I preach to everybody. It depends on where you're fishing.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, I can catch the fish I do because of the waters I fish.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
I was getting ready. I was going to give him that feedback.
Yeah, I mean, you put me somewhere else that's less than what I've got. Guess what? I'm going to catch less.
That's right.
It's simple as that.
But I still think, and I hope somebody proves me wrong because I don't like thinking this, but I still think if I can put a bait in front of the biggest catfish in the system, doesn't matter if it's 50s, it doesn't matter if it's hundreds. I need to be able to put a bait in front of their face longer than 3 to 12, sometimes 15 minutes for them to decide to eat it. Because when you're the top end predator, I think you're a careful creature. I know flatheads are that way. I know that big channel cats are somewhat that way. And I believe that big blues are that way too. Something bounce around. Yeah, you're going to get some big fish to eat it once in a while, especially if it, presents itself like directly in front of its face. But I've noticed a big thing. When I'm down into monster waters, I might have 12 boats flying around and doing their bumping and dragging and this and that and the other, and they're really frustrated and they leave. And I stay and do what I do and end up boating monsters. Now, is that because maybe they have better waters to go to and they got a fast boat and I'm kind of stuck in that area? Maybe so. But I'm still going to keep my mind open. I don't know everything yet, and I never will. But I'm still going to keep trying to think about this. So if I see some sort of successes going on that somebody's catching, at least top of the mark where they're at. Not, I said it earlier where, if they're catching 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s. But if I see that in my pool, if I hear about that in my pool, that people are doing that well, I'm going to take a big consideration and try to do it. I know I can bump. I mean, I've done it. But I just so far don't believe in it.
Do you have
at
fun?
Least for what I do. Now, the Ohio, let me tell you about what we ended up doing on the Ohio when we did have to fish it. The Mississippi was flooded. The Missouri was flooded. So we went, we were down by St. Louis. We went to the Wabash, and it had so many bank poles on it that nobody would, you'd have to be kind of goofy in the head to have any sort of faith that you were going to be able to spend a bunch of time and catch monster fish. And we caught flatheads to 40 pounds, but nothing bigger than that. And it didn't surprise me. There was a bank pole every freaking 10 feet for miles. But we ended up going to the Ohio. So we went below the dam. We caught some skipjack, and I looked at it, and we didn't have much time. And I told John and his brother, I said, okay, this is pretty much the only pattern that presents itself. We're about an hour and a half before dark. We don't have a bunch of running room to go down river 10 miles and scope this whole thing out. I said, we're going to have to fish this first 2 or 3 miles. And there isn't any anchor situation that's any good except for this right-hand side. And I forget what dam we were even fishing. So we didn't even mark any fish, but we did mark some fish that were kind of loosely scattered in 30, 40 foot of water. And it was just one here and one there. I said, all right, boys, we're gonna drift and drag. So we did, and we caught some 30-pound fish. We didn't catch any monsters, but we probably caught 10 or 12 fish. But sometimes that's what you got to do. It's your only choice.
I see, Laura had an interesting comment right there. Technically, that's been done. Mark's entire 1-versus-1 tournament, I bumped every round against people who were anchored every round.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there it is.
I was very disappointed I was not able to go in that monster hunt tournament.
I know. I was looking forward to that one. I really was.
And it was the right timing and everything for me.
I know.
You know, because so Chad, even on the Ohio River, there's the right timing for big fish, and there's right location. And you know, you could be 4 pools up. If I was fishing the Ohio River, if you told me that's the only river I could fish, I would have to go in August when the water's low after about 2 weeks, and I would go to the very lowest pool where it enters the Mississippi, and I would catch monsters because I know the habits of these fish. They're going to come out of the mother river. They're going to start going up tributaries just like they do the Missouri. When the water's high, they don't. For some reason, they're opposite of channel cats and flatheads. They actually kind of stay put. But once that water gets low and clear, they start migrating upstream, and that's when they're going to come into that pool. So my best shot at a 70, an 80, or a 90 on the Ohio is going to be 1st of August, pretty much until the water gets goofy again. It could last all the way up to September. So anyway, I'm done with that whole line of stuff. So Mark,
what's up?
Is the Fox like fully frozen?
Yeah, it's locked up all the way from Algonquin all the way through McHenry up into the chain.
Yeah,
it's
spoons.
It's locked up. I was on the backwaters ice fishing when I did my little bluegill live feed just to test the cameras and stuff, which I wasn't happy with. So we're going to work on it a little more this week and see if we can get something done.
Are you going to go after the big ring perch up there?
I'm sorry?
You going to go after the big ring perch up there?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to go after that. That time has passed. All the not the docks, but the like Navy Pier, all the piers and the shipping canals, they're all frozen up already. If I have the time, I'm going up to Milwaukee. I'll fish the grounds up there.
Nice.
See if I can get on some big browns and stuff. So those are my plans for the winter. I can't guarantee this. I set a goal for myself to catch a 36+ inch pike on a hot dog. I want to try that this year on a tip. That's one of my goals. We'll see what happens. We only have maybe a good 2-3 weeks of ice left, to be honest with you. In the February, it starts getting sketchy.
Yeah.
A little bit of warming up towards the end of the month. You're kind of pretty much done. So we might have a month left. And I haven't been able to get out. I've been busy just like you, doing a bunch of work and stuff. So we take it as it comes.
So Jeremy,
yo,
I take it you're still fishing down there.
Oh yeah, we don't ever stop fishing. I mean, the river will never ice up. It's not going to get that cold.
See, Mark and Chad, that's where we got to go. We got to go where the fishing never stops.
That's where I got to move. I'd go right down there.
Dean and I have been talking a lot about
4 days a week.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. Get down there and even meet my buddy Richard Jean, the fishing machine.
Ooh,
that part of the whole country I kind of like. Definitely want to fish the Mississippi with you guys and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm looking for a place to move, that might be that or Missouri. I know Chad's not a fan of Missouri, but that's another story for another show, Chad.
I mean, the winter time, the winter time would be awesome for y'all down here. But I can tell you now, about July, Y'all wouldn't want to be down here. From July to about the 1st of October, y'all wouldn't want to be down here. It's hot. Mark, you know, you've worked in this area before.
I was down there in August. It's hard. It's for me, for a northern boy like me, it's not fun.
No.
I was just looking at chat. I see Guerrero says that there's no ice on the inlets in Milwaukee. Interesting.
Okay. You can see the wheels turning.
I'm thinking I might get a bourbon trip in this year yet.
Come on
Jeremy,
now.
does it get hotter than Boca Raton, Florida, where you're at?
It would be about the same thing. Yeah,
About the
because
same-
we
because
have about
I've
the same
been there.
humidity.
The ocean, though, right?
Hmm?
Those ocean breeze, Boca Raton, isn't that on the ocean? You'll have to
It
forgive me.
is.
It is. That makes a big difference. When you're talking the swamps of Louisiana along the
Yeah,
river,
see, that's where I'm at.
it's
And I haven't been there, Mark.
you're looking at 90% humidity at even in the morning, and you're dying.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
for- that's the impression I got. So
Yeah, our humidity stays in the 90+% range. Like our heat index, like if the temperature is 98, 99, our heat index is 115.
Okay,
You know, it's
Yeah, that's
it's
different.
crazy.
that's different.
yeah, I
So,
would
Chad-
compare fishing in that. Not that I have, but I would imagine fishing in those kind of conditions would be equal to fishing in ice cold rain as far as discomfort levels go. For
It can be. I mean, that's why that Bimini top on my boat is
it's a lifesaver.
it's an absolute necessity. And I've said it before. I can't get away with having the cheaper ones, like the little single layer ones. I can't get away with that. It's not enough. We have to get the expensive double layer fabric ones that really cuts the heat out.
You know, that being said, I spent a week down at Land Between the Lakes camping, and it was 115 degrees almost the whole week, and it was horrible. But I kind of got towards the end of the week, I was tempered to it somewhat.
Yeah.
Let's not get carried away and said I got used to it, because I didn't. I got back in Illinois, the temperature was like 84 degrees, and I was freezing cold when I got back in Illinois.
Mhm.
So that's what I mean about being tempered. I imagine if you grow
Yeah.
up like Creole is, you get used to it, you learn how to deal with it.
Yeah, you learn.
adapt
You,
to them, but-
you never get used to it. That's the wrong term, I guess. But you learn how to deal with it. You learn what you need to do to adjust. But it's still hot. It still
I like-
sucks.
Mark,
Michelle, can you highlight that Michelle's "It's All Mine's" comment? I'm down for that one right there. You know the one I'm looking at. There we go.
Hey, that's a different kind of fishing right there.
Bourbon, not burbot.
hey, Mark, I went to Indonesia about 3 years ago. It was in summertime, and they had a cold front. It was 89 degrees, and everybody was wearing winter coats that lived there.
That's
I said,
exactly
what?
about.
Winter coats? What are these people doing? This is awesome. Or, oh, no, they're all cold. And I'm like, yeah, it's whatever we get used to.
But I could go for being a snowbird. I'm good with that. Maybe
Yeah.
someday we'll make that or maybe someday we'll make that happen in my life. But that would be good.
Yeah.
And
So,
Florida-
Chad, where are you? Are you in Ohio?
No, I'm in Kentucky. I'm probably like 20 minutes south of Cincinnati.
Okay. So then I think I probably fished that same pool that you probably fish on.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what it was called, but if you go downriver from the dam, there's a giant concrete building, like in the middle of the water on the left-hand side. If you're looking upstream, does that
Right.
sound familiar?
The waterworks?
Maybe. I don't know what it was, but there's an old concrete building on the bank, and then there's a like this big dumb obelisk right out in the middle of the water. We marked some good fish on it. We couldn't get them to bite.
Yeah, that happens a lot around here.
Yeah. Well, you guys got a big spoonbill population.
We do.
Yeah, and that may be what we were marking. We spent about 30 minutes on it. We marked some pretty good fish, 40,
Yeah.
50, 60 pounds, and they were kind of suspended like spoonbill, and we gave them
Yeah.
a shot, but it didn't
Yeah.
didn't
And,
materialize.
and I've caught spoonbill, suspend drifting even, and stuff. So the guys do snag up by the dams and stuff,
Yeah.
and they'll run jugs and stuff. But our range here for everyday fish, if you're out there, you catch tons of those 5 to 15 pound range. Anything catching, you get excited in this river anymore if you catch a 20 or 30, and the occasional you'll like when you do tournaments and stuff like that, you'll see here and there somebody bring in a 40, 50, 60 pounder, and then we had J-Dog and Tara obviously caught them 70s, but they're out there. They're just not super plentiful.
Yeah.
Well, look at so I'm going to have him on my show on Monday to talk about 280 plus pound fish he caught in one day a year ago. 280 pound blues off the bank on the Mississippi River. How often do you hear about 2 being caught in one day?
Oh, right.
One person, let alone on a bank. That's.
Be surprised, Mark, how many people do that. The bank guys aren't really notorious for letting people know what they do.
Yeah, this is true. Notice I hardly ever live stream or have videos on the bank. I ain't doing that. I can definitely appreciate them.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. I just thought I'd ask Mr. Chad if there was something.
Wait. Hold on. Look, before you go, I need to. So you want to be educated on something.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'll never change your mind on fishing, but I need to teach you how to YouTube. Turn your phone sideways to give the crowd a nice, beautiful, wide picture of Epic Studios.
Oh, you mean when I'm doing this?
Schooled you, son.
I've just you did, because I used to have to prop this thing up on a box. Now I have a little thing that kind of holds it, so I suppose I could. Watch this. I just learned something.
Oh,
look at that.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Win for hey, I'm counting that as a win. Putting in the win, check the mark.
All the OCD in the chat box has been satisfied.
There you go.
All right, everybody. I'm going to let
see you.
Business.
Have a good night, bud.
Hey,
later, brother.
Thanks for having me on. See ya.
See you, brother. Now that he's gone, you believe that guy?
Yeah.
He's still in the basement, right?
Oh shit.
Oh Lord. It was just awesome. The timing, the timing was great. I love it. I gotta love it.
At least now I know how fast I can get Tim going, and
you know how to get it on your show.
And I know the trigger. I know the trigger now.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to look, I have about the same trigger. Anybody want to says anything about anything like that, and I'm in chat? Whoa, hold on. Hey, throw me a link. Hang on.
Here we go. How about this one? Let me test you out here. Let's see if we can't trigger Creole.
Mm-hmm.
Kielbasa is better than andouille sausage. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
And I am now on top where I should be.
There's your answer right there, Mark.
Wait, I'm trying to get in there. I knew I could do it.
Oh, yep. I had to. I'm telling you, I'm really. This is the first time I have done a live stream where I've had guests on stream. So I'm not gonna lie. I now see how much fun y'all have.
Oh, it is messing with each other. You have no.
I love it. I definitely see the appeal now.
It's a power trip.
Wait, stop. Wait.
What?
Why is Mark? Now, see, now I feel more comfortable. Okay.
There you go. All right. It's even better now. See, I'm learning. While I got y'all up here, I'm playing around. Gotta learn. I gotta learn sometime, right?
Oh, we got a bot in there. Somebody's posting. I gotta say bacon. There we go. I said it.
I would take care of that, but I'm not on like catfish and crappie level.
Oh, okay. Well, I think somebody got it. I'm trying to.
I mean, not that I'm calling anything out.
An error occurred. Okay, that I could do.
Yeah, watch this.
Oh, look at this. He's got no wrench. That's what he's complaining about.
Here.
You don't? I thought I had you I can't do it from here, can I?
Oh, and you were timed out by your wife.
Now Epic will never see my comment that I just posted to him.
I thought I had you. Well, I can't add you.
You probably have my original channel.
No, but I thought I had gone back and added this one. I guess I didn't.
I don't know.
He got you. See,
I really do hate though that Epic will never see the comment that I made.
Was it an apology?
No, it was just saying that it
No.
was an arrow pointing to my name that said I'm also a better looking angler than Epic.
I'm not even getting down
I'm at a
there.
loss for words.
No, I'm not. I'm not even getting down there. Yeah, I can't see
File
here
time,
who
man?
my mods are. I don't even know. I'll be honest with you.
No.
I don't even know.
Don't
worry, I'll hook you up.
We
it's
got
okay, buddy.
flexing in chat. I'm watching it from here.
Mm-hmm. Well, in a way that helps me out because now I know who they are because they're bragging about it in chat. So now I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, when I go back and watch it back, I'll be able to go in and add or possibly remove. I'll see. Depends on who's behaving themselves. Yeah, look, see, yeah, yeah. I know who they are now. That's okay.
So you got that little.
I'm even putting 2 stands catches bigger fish than Epic, and it won't even let me.
Timed out. D, see, I knew D was my favorite. I knew it, but damn it, she proved it to me. She did. She proved it. I love it.
She's still mad at me because I'm the only one that caught a fish today.
Chad, when I got up there, when I was going to go up on screen, I was going to ask you, did you have a new a cold weather jacket on today, the blue one, or did you have that one?
No, I've had that for a while. I just don't wear it too often. It's my Bass Pro 100-mile-an-hour gear.
You needed it today.
And you reviewed? What do you think of it?
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Normally I'll wear a t-shirt and a hoodie underneath it, and just that, and I can fly down the river. And literally the only thing that I don't like is the hood on it, because my head's not as big as your guys. I mean, it's pretty big, but it doesn't seal good enough to where you don't get, obviously that's the only thing that ever gets cold is my face. And the way it sits, it just flies right off as soon as you start going. No, Jody, I don't.
See, we got to have them big heads to contain all that knowledge. See,
trust me, I don't have that. I don't have much knowledge.
I'm so like one of these beverages away from really getting myself in trouble. So I think we're going to stop right here with the beverages while I'm up here.
Come on,
all this talk is really making bad jokes in my head. So,
yeah, well, okay, yeah, I know where you're going with that one. Okay, I got you.
Epic still doesn't get me up. He's all riled up in chat now again.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, you keep poking the bear is what you're doing. I'm fixing to take your stick away from you. You just keep. You can't help it.
Creole, how long you known me?
Long enough. I know. Look, there's 3 kinds of people. Okay, first kind learns physically. Okay, they see it or they do it. Second type, when they hear it, they hear something or somebody tells them something, they learn it. That third type, which is you just got to piss on that electric fence for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done plenty of that.
And I'm also the type that I probably don't learn the first time. I just keep going. I just keep poking.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because I have fun with it. I don't do the whole serious all the time.
No,
or pretty much any time.
No, you cannot take yourself too seriously. You can't.
No.
Now, I by myself, Chad, I've finally realized I cannot keep you under control by myself. So,
I got you, brother.
No.
I got you.
Get out of here.
See, Lyle got me.
That's right. Pull him back.
Hey, Lyle, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Mark.
How you doing? I'm just pretty much sitting up here looking pretty, enjoying the conversation that Chad got in.
I'm glad somebody's looking pretty in this whole group.
You better have another drink.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean,
Chad always thought he was the pretty one. So, but
Yeah,
We know it's Dockery.
Oh,
He's the only one of us that's got any hair.
that is true.
hey, I got hair.
By the way,
Jeremy.
by the way,
Yeah.
Dad.
Yes.
Also, when I first woke up today, because Dee had the replay of all them goobers dancing tonight, doing the whatever
Yeah, I
dance.
ain't watching that.
I seen Fish on Luke was live, so I go in there, and I notice that Mark has a wrench
What'd
in
you
my
notice, bud?
Hey, Brian. You noticed what there, big guy?
But I noticed that my brother Mark had a wrench, and I mentioned this to my brother Luke in chat, and I got ignored because I'm the redheaded freaking stepchild. I told him I was telling Dad.
Did I mention I'm the first and only wrench on the Luke or Fish on Luke channel?
Yeah, I
somewhere?
don't have a wrench. I don't have a wrench. And who's supposed to have
I can't
one?
believe they treat you like that, Dad.
I know. You're trying really hard to get that number one spot.
I am. Well, I'm the baby. I should already automatically be number one. I mean, I know you guys had me later on in
I
life.
think Luke is younger than you.
No way. They all got to be older.
No, I don't think so.
Luke is the baby.
I think Luke's the baby.
This is some bull.
And he give me frogs.
That technically makes you and Dockery middle children, and you know what happens with middle child.
Yeah.
Middle child.
That might explain some stuff. I'm finding out I've got middle child syndrome now.
That explains a lot, actually. It really does.
Oh, man.
That explains everything.
Let's not air
I'm
this
so depressed
family
now.
business out in public, please, guys.
What's up, Blake?
Bayou Bastards. What's going on, Bayou?
Oh, man.
Brand new YouTube channel right there. Y'all go check him out. Them boy kayak fishing.
Baby Huey, Brian called you.
Well, it looked like you guys are having a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I'm going to be jumping off here in a minute. I took like a 4-hour nap earlier, but it didn't help. I am beat.
It wasn't a beauty nap, was it?
No. Apparently not. No.
I did enjoy Luke's live, and I enjoyed your tournament today. It was, it was really good. All the fish being caught. 250s back to back for them guys.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, Daryl and Woody, they had it going on. And
what lake exactly were they on? Were they on Moultrie?
No, they were on the Tennessee River.
They were on the Tennessee River. Okay, I thought they were out in.
It's kind of like the Ohio.
Okay,
no current.
Yeah,
we had like 3 mile an hour current today, plus 20 mile an hour.
Stop it!
3 miles.
You ain't never seen 3 mile an hour current on the Ohio River.
Oh, bull crap! We get up the words of 5 sometimes.
I see GPS pictures of 3 miles an hour. We ain't gonna believe you.
I will tell you the same thing I have told you multiple times. I've been to that Ohio River a lot of times.
Oh yeah,
and the most it ever had was a 1/2 mile an hour. That's the most I've ever seen.
You had to have only been in there in the summertime, then.
What? Why else would I go down there? I'm not ice fishing that piece of stuff.
Say it. It doesn't matter. Say it. The kids are in.
I'm not going down there in the wintertime and ice fish like Mark and you or Mark and James. You don't ice fish. You're too smart for that. Jeremy, how many times you been on the ice fishing? There you go.
I'm still here listening.
I watched Luke tonight. Mark told me that he had parked his truck right out beside that ice shack. Now, I love old Luke, but I thought he was smarter than to drive a vehicle out on the ice.
No.
I'm not ever going to do that. I'm not going to ride out there with somebody that does it. Yeah, never going to happen. Never going to happen.
One of these days, I know I have a plan on how I'm going to make $1 million on YouTube. What's up, Chad?
I'm leaving. Good night.
Later, brother.
Good night, Chad. Good night, D.
Talk to you later, buddy.
Bye-bye.
I've got my plan laid out for how I'm gonna become a YouTube millionaire.
You're gonna start
About-
cooking videos.
No,
Cause it ain't gonna happen in fishing.
no. Push. No, I got a plan.
Magnet fishing. Maybe you can make it.
No. Let's stop it. Stop it. Stop being a bad influence. Stop it. About a year from now, I'm gonna go up there to where Mark's at, and I'm gonna finally go ice fishing. But I'm gonna sell the rights to the video,
Well, there you go.
just so everybody can laugh at me. Okay, when I shit my pants the first time I ice fish. That's it. That's gonna be my
Dude, I'm
right
telling you,
viral video. Done.
you've never even had enough ice down there to walk across a mud puddle, have you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I have seen that much ice,
Mm-mm.
and it always cracks, and then your feet get wet. So when it cracks and it's over your head, more than your feet is going to get wet.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's simple physics.
Yeah.
It really is. So, no, I'm not doing it.
Hey, Creel, did you see Chad is hanging around in Chad hoping you might notice him and make him a wrench? I wouldn't do it.
I will give it careful consideration.
There you go.
Wow.
Now, I find it hilarious that his wife has a wrench and not him. I
And
may
she-
have to kind of conveniently forget to give him his wrench for the next 6-8 months. You know, have a little fun with that.
Well, you
See,
know,
Chad's next tournament isn't for a few months, so I can have a little fun with him before I have to be nice again. See, I can kind of play it out for a little while.
on the Lake Ohio.
Even Brian B is telling him to get out and go to bed.
Yeah, Epic's right about that. Even the little guys need to be. I don't care how thick the ice is. I don't care.
Nope.
I am not pulling a vehicle out on that ice.
My first
Never
20 steps on the ice this year, it was crystal clear, Lyle. You'd have shat yourself like this.
I'm guaranteeing it. Yeah.
And you can see like the cracks through the ice. You can kind of tell how thick the ice is by the cracks in it. And when you walk on it, you can see like it's split just a little bit. It's enough to pucker you up, even when you're used to it. So
You're making me nervous just talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I ain't never
no.
going to do it. Now,
No.
I have decided that I might go up to Dockery sometime
Ooh.
and get on the dock with him and him drill a hole and me fish standing on the dock through the ice hole.
you mean dock
I-
fish?
That's as close to it as I'm going to get.
It's not ice fishing.
That it is to me.
Well, the line is
And
right.
I got to tell you, I could take a tent or something and put up on that dock. So if I got cold, I could have a heater in there and not worry about it. It sounded better, ain't it, Jeremy?
Yeah, that's starting to sound like something.
Feeling
Right there.
outnumbered up here.
It's starting to sound like something.
Yeah, I'm not sure James is going to get the ice enough this year to do any good. I know he was whining about it 2 or 3 times, but Marky, he thinks he's got enough ice that he's been out on it. Personally, I ain't going to. Nope.
No,
We had
I just
4.5, 5 inches on what was it on Wednesday,
5 inches.
and that's fine. It's no big deal. I'm going out, if I go out tomorrow, it'll be on a larger body of water, so then I'll be a little more careful. But we'll see. If I have to go out there alone, I may not go. Or if it gets really cold, they're calling for sub-20s tomorrow, I may not head out. 'Cause I want to drag all my gear out there.
The next time you're out there, you need to have your
I got a
Cold
long mile
plunge.
on the lake. Oh, I actually got a bonus one.
you need to do video of poking holes with that
Spud. We can do
yeah.
that.
That way
Okay.
people can see how you check the thickness of the ice for safety.
maybe I'm not understanding this correctly, but I want to make sure I got this straight. You're walking out on the ice.
Mhm.
You're already on the ice, and you're literally taking a large, simply what's a pinch bar, and
It's actually
busting
worse
the
than a
ice
pinch bar. It's
3 feet in front of you.
like a chisel welded to the end of a pinch bar. It's an actual chisel point, a staggered.
You get what I'm saying here.
Right
standing
below,
on
right
the
between
ice,
his legs.
You
and
gotta,
you're
you gotta
intentionally
think of this.
busting the ice you're standing on.
I know you guys are messing around, so I'm not going to bother with the size of the whole situation.
Am I the only one here? This gets
No.
the absurdity of that idea. I mean, it's just
It's like trying to sell the Bible. Not going to happen.
I'm guessing that probably 20 years ago I might have been talked into it. I wouldn't have been wild about it then, but I might have been talked into it 20 years ago. But today, I'm thinking it ain't never gonna happen. It just ain't gonna happen. But I do like to watch these other guys do it. I really do.
It's a young man's game unless you got the whole equipment and the whole deal as far as like transportation goes.
That's right.
Because I'll tell you what, I went like a quarter mile on those channels, and I was like, yeah, maybe I don't like this as much as I used to. But once I got out there, I was good with the one I
you had a good stream. It was awesome. But
camping every time you go out fishing. To imagine unpacking your boat from bow to the whole boat from front to back every time. Painted a lot of stuff.
I just buy new stuff.
That's half the reason I bought my boat, so I wouldn't have to.
You didn't have to unpack it all the time.
Lance is going on Lake Winnebago, and that's a big lake. That's some big water over there. Big water.
Now, I will say this in all ice fishermen's defense. I will say this: there would be some people, and Lyle is going to agree with me when I finish this statement, that if they would come out with me on that Mississippi River when it is raging, trees coming down, barges going upstream, the whole deal, that would probably think I'm a psycho for going out.
Absolutely.
So you know what? I'm not going to tease you too much because I'm sure they would code brown themselves in my boat.
Oh, I had a close experience out when I was down there on the Cass where it meets the Mississippi. There was a huge tree. I kid you not. It was sticking 30 feet out of the water. I got behind it and it was 60 feet deep at that spot. I got caught in a whirlpool behind it and it turned my boat around twice, right around my trolling motor. And I'm like, I've had enough of this spot. I'm going back into the Cass. Let's see if we can get over there.
Yep.
I promise you that I've been on the Mississippi and the Missouri when it was so bad that experienced guys wouldn't even unload their boat, and we fished tournaments in it because we was there. We done spent the money, and the tournament was going on, and we was going to fish it. I've been on it so bad that Cindy would actually turn around and look out the back of the boat while we was traveling, so she didn't have to see what we was coming into.
Yep, I have been out. Now look, there's been a couple of times to where, let's say, I won't bring Laura or my little one with me.
Right.
Like there's some places that the only person I'll let come with me is like my dad.
Yeah.
And even him, I can tell because he's sitting right in front of me in that center console boat. And I can tell he's white knuckling them handles on the side of that little bait well. Like he's like, are we really doing this? I'm like, yeah, we doing this. Hold on. Here we go.
I seen swell so big when a storm come in one time. My brother was fishing with his grandson, and I had one of my boys with me, and there was a guy pulled up over on the side road next to the river, and he was hollering and waving and carrying on. I thought he knew us. So I'm over here, hey, how you doing? You know, just carrying on. And turned around, and behind us, the skies was black. And here come the rollers. And before we got the anchors up, we was anchor fishing above a dam.
Yeah.
Before we got the anchors pulled up, we was in 8-foot rollers. And I turned around to look, and my brother, all I could see the bottom of his boat. The only things in the water was the prop. And I was in the lead. I had a deep V.
Yeah. And
we got into an area where there's a loading chute for American Cyan, or not American Cyan, but Dundee Hercules. And we sit there till the storm blowed over, and that was the worst I'd ever seen. My youngest son at the time was probably senior in high school or something like that, and he's got the rope that you tie off on the front of the boat, and he's flopping around there like a bull rider inside the boat. It's that bad.
Yeah.
I said, get your life jacket on. He put his on and held on to the rope, and he gave me mine, and I put one arm around it because I couldn't turn loose the steering wheel. You just couldn't turn loose of it.
Yeah.
And that's about as bad as I've ever seen. But I was on Wheeler when a bunch of them realized they shouldn't have been on down there. I was on that lake one of them days, and we had zero trouble, but a lot of other people did.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes down to having enough boat to take on stuff like that
And
You know,
experience.
I mean, mine's not a deep V. It's basically the biggest John boat you can buy.
It's got to be
And things
super
like a
wide. Yeah.
barge. It's rough, but it'll take that stuff, and I don't have to worry about the water coming in it. I have to
Yeah.
go slower than some guys, but I
Tall
can take
slides
some
on a boat
really
is a
nasty
wonderful
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, mine are 22 inches on
Yeah,
mine.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
I got
just-
those big pods in the back. I can take a 4-foot wake right at the transom on my boat and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's so-
I grew up learning on the Mississippi River how to fish with my brother and his father-in-law, who at the time was in his 70s, and he had been on it his entire life in a 16-foot John boat with a 40-horse motor. And when he bought a new one, he bought a 16-foot John boat and a 40. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And them's the guys you need to learn from. And that's like guys now that goes out and buys a boat. Well, you need to take that boat and find some old guy like Doggy was, and take him with you
Yeah.
to teach you how to operate your boat and how to stay out of trouble and keep them running over sandbars and stuff. You know.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I did when we first got started doing this real serious. You know, one of the guys that taught me most of what I know about that river spent his whole life on his river in nothing bigger than a 1648 John boat.
That's right.
Well, I put him in my big old boat, and he's like, "We can go
Yeah,
anywhere."
that's right.
He ain't worried.
It's
at
like
all.
a mini pontoon. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Big skip. That was a bad day.
Weather, it's all what you're tempered to, what
Yeah,
It
you
is.
do, and what you got experience with, and so on. So,
Yeah.
That was a bad day on that lake.
have you guys ever seen lightning hit the water?
No.
That'll teach you not to be on the water when you start seeing.
I've seen what fishing rods look like after they've been struck by
I've
lightning.
seen lightning hit the water while I was bank fishing one time, and it was enough for me not to want to be on the water.
Yeah, I've not ever seen that.
Really.
Outdoor addiction. Look
I've
here.
seen it
Right.
hit trees. I've seen it hit other stuff. I've never seen it hit the water.
Yeah.
I've seen it hit a tree in the middle of a pasture that had 6 cows standing underneath it. That was interesting.
Well, I tell you, them days that I've seen that was bad like that on the Mississippi River is why I say that kayaks should be limited to lakes, because you would never going to get a kayak through what we went through in them boats.
no.
I did not think we was going to
Them
get them.
ocean guys, there's guys that take them out on the ocean and out here,
I don't care.
and they
They
you'd
do.
be- they're pretty nimble crafts in the hands of professionals. Let me
Still.
Yeah. I know.
I'm just saying.
add,
The other thing is you can't see them on that river when the waves get up.
No.
that's
You can't see 'em.
a problem.
You're on top of them,
No.
and you either got to make a hard break and hit them with a wake.
Yeah.
Because there's just enough rollers up there. You can't see them till you're on top of them.
Yeah. Now, I
And,
mean, a
I
steady wake in the river because of a high wind going against the current, that's one thing. Throw in some cross waves from some barges. That
that's
is
right.
a whole different. You can't time them.
Right.
You
That's
can't-
right. But
they're
now, with that
all-
being said, most of the kayakers that I have seen on the Missouri and the Mississippi are not in the middle of it where they don't belong.
Yeah.
They're close to the banks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But every once in a while, you'll run into one of them dummies, and he
Right.
thinks he's a big boat playing on the wakes of barges that goes by.
Yeah.
And somebody should just pull his head off and crap down his neck, because he's a fool. He has no idea what he's doing.
No. I mean, look, we were fishing in the Chafalaya last year, and some guy, he had come from upriver, and he had parked on one of the barges, on one of the sandbars. He was going to spend the night, and he was going to take off down there. And I'll tell you that a Chafalaya, it's not as wide as the Mississippi, but on
A lot of
average
current.
has more current.
Yeah.
It's a little deeper and has more current. That river is dangerous, and
Well, I'll
I'm
tell
looking
you.
at that guy like, yeah, they'll be
Yeah.
keeping you up down the river.
If anybody that wants to practice should get some boats and just go down by Memphis sometime and drop in and give it a try down there, because the current down there, even when the water is really low, is still stroking about 6 to 8 miles an hour most all the time. And then when it gets high water, it doubles, you know. And then you throw in some of them loaded barges coming up that river in a big, sturdy, strong boat that's most trusted in the world, it'll still make you pucker. So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're in one of them one-man jobs, you got some big cojones.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Or your brain is disconnected from the rest of your body. One of the
Well,
other.
that could be.
You're either brave or stupid. One or the
Well,
other.
when you get them wakes like comes off of them 7 wide, 8 long, 8 deep, they're 5 and 6 feet.
Yeah.
And big boats flop around on them things all the time. So them little guys, I don't know how. I never have seen a kayak down there though. I'm sure they do it, but I've not ever seen it.
Yeah. Now I know there's actually there's a lady kayak angler who fishes the Mississippi south of us. Her name Robin Bordlon. In fact, she's a contributing writer.
I know who that is.
You know who that is. I actually met her in South Louisiana. I gave her some slicker that I was catching, and she was wondering how in the world I was catching them. But anyway, met her, talked a little bit. Now she fishes the Mississippi down there in her kayak, but she stays out of that main channel. She fishes the secondary channels and stuff where the water's a little slower.
Backwaters and stuff, definitely.
Yeah. She stays out of that main channel, for the most part.
And until you've, and I know everybody hears this, they get tired of hearing it, but until you've been on the Mississippi below where the dams are, below St. Louis, or on the Missouri River where there's no dams, or no from South Dakota on, it's just wide open, and seeing the current that comes down them things, and if the wind is blowing backwards up that river, either one of them, my God, the white caps are 4 and 5 feet tall a lot of times. And until you've experienced that, you're just kidding yourself.
And what happens is, let's say you go out fishing, the wind was calm that morning. Well, depending on
and then you
where
get
you're
stuck
at
out it.
in a bend, you may not know that the wind picked up to 20 miles an hour. You're on your way back. You round a big bend. All of a sudden, it feels like a hurricane coming down that channel, and you see those waves, and you realize you done screwed up.
That's fact.
Hey, Creo, my chat and everything's freezing up on my computer, so I'm going to bow out here. I'm going to reload and I'll be talking in chat. You guys, it was great talking to you. It was great talking to Epic and especially Chad. I appreciate you guys. Have a great night. Thanks for having me on here. I'll see everybody in the chat box.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it, brother.
All right, bye-bye.
But, I'm halfway tempted one day, not doing anything crazy, but on those days where I know it's bad, just going out and filming it.
That would be, you could just call it a safety thing.
Yeah, and say, look, guys, this is the reality of what's out here. I know, the Mississippi is some magical place that
it is.
Like, let me give you a little reality of what, because look, I live next to it, and I remember the first time I ever got in it in a boat, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same until you're in a boat.
That's correct.
You can drive over it all you want. You don't get that same sense.
That's exactly right. And big open lakes, Stockton is one of them. It's close to me. There's nothing around it to stop the wind. Milford Lake in Kansas is another one.
Yeah, they talk about Toledo Bend like that.
Toledo Bend's another one. There's nothing to stop the wind. So when it comes across whatever open land it is and it hits that lake, it's just unbelievable the wakes that you can get from the wind only. And then you throw in some big boats going in there you are.
It doesn't take much, and you kind of have to realize that one wrong move, like I think a lot of the mistake people make, boat, kayak, whatever, your first instinct is to turn the boat around. You better be real mindful when you turn that boat, if you want to turn it at all.
That's right.
Because you turn that boat sideways at the wrong time, dude, it's over. I don't care how big your boat is.
No, it doesn't matter. And they can be the stablest thing in the world. It still bears watching. Water in general bears your attention.
Yeah. And especially now, in the line of work I'm in, working on the levees, working on dams and stuff, you get to see what water does.
Absolutely.
It'll make the
So
hair
are
stand
you
up on the back.
repairing levees?
Yes.
I done that in 1979,
Mm-hmm.
1980. I worked for a construction guy, and he had a contract to repair blowouts on levees all the way up down the Mississippi River
Mhm.
from St. Louis to Ellsbury, and
Yeah.
man, you're right. You don't know what that's about until you've seen the devastation and
Yeah.
that just water can do.
Yeah, in fact, we're one of the projects we're in the middle of now. In fact, we'll be working on it again when the river goes back down. It's some repair and some improvements on the west bank just below Vicksburg.
Nice.
Just below Vicksburg. In fact, I remember when Roger had Larry Muse on his show,
Hmm?
and he was talking about the spot where he caught his biggest bag of fish ever.
Mm-hmm.
We're a half a mile downstream from that.
Wow.
Right there. Because
Wow.
I got to find out where he was talking about, and I was like, that's right there on our project.
And you're not taking your boat down there?
Not right now. The time is not right now. The time isn't right.
Yeah, I hope you're there when it gets right.
It will be, trust me.
Yeah.
I fully plan on it. We go take advantage of that.
Yeah, I always wanted to fish down there and never did. I think that'd be a great area to fish, and I know there's some giants down there because Larry's told me some stories and different things that he's done down there, and I know it's a great fishery. So, and
there's so much of it that I haven't seen. I'll be honest.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it gets pretty big down that area.
Well, it is, and really, the area of the Mississippi. And where I fish, they all kind of come together. But where I fish, the whole area I fish, everything y'all see me do is probably a 10-mile radius. That's about it. It's not a big area. I haven't explored a lot of this. If you were to go on a map and look up the Angola Federal Prison, that's pretty much right in the middle of where I fish the Mississippi at. Probably 5 or 6 miles either side of the prison. That's it. I've got a lot of ground left to cover.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
I look forward to that, though. I mean, I want to venture out, go new places, but you know how it is, and I'm sure everybody else has the same problem. I know my areas really well now. I'm confident that I can go and catch fish, and it's so hard to go somewhere new because you just don't know. And boy,
that's right.
You're afraid to take
I always enjoyed
that.
I mean? But it's not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy fishing local stuff, and of course we had so much boat trouble last year. It was horrible.
Oh, I know.
But we got all that straightened out now. We're going to be tearing it up this year. So
good.
Looking forward to some warm weather.
Yeah.
Because it is not warm tonight. It's 27 degrees. I know that sounds bitterly cold to you, but it was down a whole bunch colder than that a few nights ago. But we got some more cold weather coming. But hey, we're halfway through January, so
yeah. But it could be one of those late winters. I know right now. I think it's like low to mid 40s right now, and I could the north is right here. On this wall of this bedroom is the north, and I can actually hear the wind hitting on the wall.
Yeah, we had snow today. It didn't stick. Yeah. Poor old James Docker, he's got 6 or 8 inches up there.
Dude, if we would get 6 inches of snow here, the governor would declare a state of emergency.
I guarantee it. Yeah,
shut it down.
Guarantee it.
The most I've ever deal with is 3 inches. 3 inches of snow, and
that's a lot for you.
No.
James and Katie and their daughter, they was all out there shoveling snow out of their driveway, and they got it done and went to get their back deck cleared off. I was laughing at him. He didn't think it was near as funny as I did.
Absolutely not. No, I will deal with my 110-degree heat if it means I
don't like that either.
I will deal with it. Well, I believe we have a guest that's gonna pop back in here just for a second.
Hey, he's here. Long time no see.
Yeah.
What's happening,
I had to go take care of a few things, and then I decided to come back because I like, talking with Lyle and Jeremy, Mr. Creel, down there in the giant waters.
It is some big
I
water
talk
down
about,
there.
anytime I talk about my waters, I think that tickles a nerve
It does.
somewhere in Epic's neck, and his hair stands up, and he gets all excited. He don't even know why.
Tim, have you ever fished that far down?
No, and I want to.
Yeah, me either.
That's the thing. I mean, it's luring me. It's like the call of the sirens.
I agree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Anything south of Memphis and those 100 to 200 foot holes with the giant sweeping curves and the oxbows and all that stuff.
Mhm.
That's
I've been
That's
down
something
the
I've
river,
always
on the river, as far as Tunica, or just this side of Tunica.
Yeah.
That's about as far as I've been.
And that's still quite a bit north of me. Yeah, the Tunica, Mississippi. That's You're still way above me.
Yeah. You're way on down there.
Yeah. From on the Mississippi, I am 330 miles from the Gulf.
300.
330 miles from where the river exits into the Gulf at Pilot Town. I'm 330 miles from that spot. Now down the Atchafalaya, it's only 170 to the Gulf. It's shorter and it's steeper, which is why the river keeps trying to take that channel. That's why all the structures exist
awesome
where we fish at. They prevent that situation.
What'd you say, Tim?
I said all of that sounds awesome to me.
It does to me
Because-
too. The only thing that I see that he's got that I'm not interested in at all is them alligators.
They're not in the river though.
Not with me, they don't be.
But no, I've the only alligators I've ever seen in the main part of the river is either one or two little bitty tiny ones,
Yep.
or a dead one. They don't like that current at all. They won't.
Okay.
Slide. Yeah, no, they don't. They ain't gonna hang around.
Well, them
that.
blues like a current, so that's where I'd be anyhow.
Well, there you go. See, you're good. No, you're not. No, you're not gonna see any big gators where we catfish at. Now,
Yeah, I don't want to see them.
I could take you to a little lake right here by the house and show you all the big ones you want.
Nope.
Oh, come on now,
Lyle, when my wife and I were on our honeymoon, we went to a what do you call those things? A plantation, which was kind of a visitor's thing.
Mhm.
We got in this little boat in the swamps, and I tried my best to catch a 4 or a 5 foot gator with my hands, and you couldn't do it. Them things are smart. They'll go down. I mean, they'll let you get within maybe a hand grasp or whatever, but without jumping in the water. And it was cold. It was November 7th. And I tried, and my wife didn't want no part of it, but she didn't. I mean, this was part of my trip. I wanted to catch one of those things because when I was in college, we used to have Nile monitor lizards that were like 4 foot long, and I thought, can't be hardly any worse than that.
Now I'll tell you what would be fun if you could get down there and Chad was beside you, and you could grab one by the tail and real quick just toss it over your boat into his.
Throw it in the boat. No,
that's been done.
I'll bet.
That's been done.
I think Chad just likes to stir some stuff. I mean, I gotta watch this stuff a little bit more because I haven't.
But
I haven't seen
it
enough of
worked.
this stuff. What's
It
that,
worked
Jeremy?
though, didn't it?
What?
It worked.
Well, okay, it's not that hard to get me up on here, but I mean, yeah,
That's right.
I mean,
It worked.
He's
I
a
will have
shit
to
disturber
admit,
from way back.
he is the first person that ever told me point blank that there's people catching bigger and more fish than I ever thought about. That was his exact quote. And I was thinking, did I miss something here?
Yeah, and before I realize what's going on, I'm listening to this and I'm saying, okay, Epic's in chat. All of a sudden, I look down on my screen. I see Epic in the basement here, pacing like a damn tiger in a cage. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Oh, this is
It
gonna be
wasn't
good.
all that unusual. I'm pacing like a tiger in a cage all the time.
but you were pacing a little more assertively. Let's call it
A little more, yeah. Sometimes.
you were.
I don't think I've ever seen him sit down.
No,
Maybe one time in a boat. Maybe once.
Yep.
The
I'll
only
sit a
time
little
I've
bit in
seen
the
you
boat.
sit down is holding that big fish.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I don't want them to drop very far if they drop.
Yeah.
And you notice
Oh, and they can
that
twist
sucker
out of your
tried to
hand so
jump out of my
fast.
lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sitting down with them because, like I say, they can twist out of your hand so fast, and they'll twist on your hand if you got your hand in their mouth, and if not, they got a way of wiggling, and they'll just get
Mhm.
away. They're slick and slimy anyhow.
Yep.
I hate to see one dropped, and
Yep.
one of the biggest fears of for me is to see them guys hold them up in the air at weigh-ins and tournaments,
Oh yeah.
and you'll almost always see somebody drop one. And I've seen them drop them off the side of their boat and hit asphalt when we were doing weigh-ins, and you just want to disqualify them for being so
Yeah, I know.
stupid to do something like that.
And Lyle, a 50 or a 60 is pretty manageable. But once they get 70, 80, 90, 100,
That's right.
Completely crazy.
They're
Flatheads,
yeah.
pretty manageable, even at 80, 90 pounds. But
Mhm.
blues are like a giant channel cat. They want to roll, they want to bite, they want to do all that
They do.
other stuff. And the likelihood of them hitting the floor is pretty big. Yeah.
Well, here's what I tell everybody. They are buoyant in water.
Yep.
Even when guys throw them out of the boat and they hit that water, they don't know what that is because they've never had anything hit them like that before.
That's right.
And you're doing internal damage every time that you drop one. You're doing internal damage every time you throw one out of a boat like that.
Yep.
Just don't do it because
certainly
they
can.
might not die right then, but tonight, tomorrow, the next day, chances are they're not going to survive that hit.
Yeah, exactly. It could take days. You're right. I mean, like I said, that fish is not used to having its internal organs have pressure on them like
That's
that.
right.
It's used to just being, like you said, being buoyant in the water, and their ribs are not designed to take an impact like that. They're just not. You're gonna bust them up.
First of all, they do live in 2 times the gravity of us in normal.
Mhm.
And blues do.
Mhm.
So you got 2 times the gravity, which holds things in.
That's
the
right.
Pressure. So once you get them up at the surface, even though they'll come to the surface, they just don't live there. Then you get them out of the boat, then it's net zero gravity for them. And all of a sudden you've got expansion, you've got things going. Now, I'm not saying that these fish are so weak that as soon as you bring them in the boat, if they do happen to drop on the floor, I just try to minimize it. I think most of them live, even if you do like drop them from a short, but I don't prescribe to the thing where they possibly, I think it's probably 50-50. If they drop from a hard stand, like up here and they're big and weighty, I think a 10, 20, 30 can stomach it pretty good. But by the time you get to 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, it's not great. It's not.
No, it's hard on them. It has to be hard on them. And, you're supposed to be calming them down anyhow.
Yeah. I know, right?
And honestly, I should do this, but I can't do it just because people want to see the fish. Honestly, we should actually put a rag over their eyeballs, just like you do an alligator, just like you do a monitor lizard, just like you do any creature. If you want to settle them down and keep them whatever, you just put a rag over their eyeballs. If they can't see anything, they just calm way down. Yeah. But
I agree.
I'm kind of against rags too because their immune system is their slime coat. So it's just one, and I've thought about it and overthought about it, but seriously, if you could put your hands over their eyes, they'd probably be less squeamish. But once you've had enough big fish in the boat or fish in general, you kind of know when they start that flexing, and that period of time. Because like with that super giant, I was hovering over it with my balls over the tail. I said, this thing's about ready to slap me in the nuts. Because I knew, and I didn't hardly get it in my lap, and it did a tail whip so hard it almost hit its own face. before it jumped out of my lap a little bit, and I kind of caught it on the way down. But it would have swatted me right in the cul-de-sac.
Been there.
Now you see something that I'm not gonna say nobody else besides me deals with, but earlier we were talking about how hot it gets for me down here during the summer. Now
That's a big
talking
thing.
it gets so hot that on the decks of my boat, I can't even wear those dock shoes. They're too thin. The heat will come through those shoes and still burn the bottom of my feet. So I saw somebody else do it. I forget when, but now I thought about that. So wait a minute, I can't. It will burn these skin off of my feet if I'm barefooted. I don't need to be putting this fish on this hot deck when I put them in the boat. So now during the summer, you'll notice when I pick that fish up in the net, I'll hang him over that deck just for a little while, let that water get on my deck, cool it off a little bit before I set him down on it. Because that in itself has got to hurt him. You could fry an egg on the deck of my boat. I promise you. During the summer.
Well, one thing that I think that people need to take into consideration is either lift their fish in and out, and as much as possible, either in their net or get a waist sling.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would help the dropping of them a great deal.
Yeah.
And I know that you want to show that fish. I got that. And you can still do that. But as much as you can, keep it in something to where you're not going to drop the fish. I just feel that's very detrimental to the fish's health and well-being.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've
gotten in the habit now that I weigh my fish in that big net.
Yeah.
It keeps them. I put them in the deck of the boat. I fish grip them just to control their head, so I can ungrip them. They're in the net. I can weigh them. I can do whatever. They're not going. They're cradled. That monster 150 I got. I could put a child in that thing.
Oh yeah.
Hell, I could put myself in that thing. I've done it.
and Jeremy, I don't even weigh them unless they're over I weigh an occasional fish just to keep myself honest about my guessing, but I don't care to weigh a fish unless I know it's over 5 foot long.
Well, some of us don't have that luxury now, do we?
Yeah. So that was for Chad if he's still in the thing, because I got the Mississippi River and I can just go over whatever. But
before you come back in here, Jeremy and I was talking. Unless people have actually been on that Mississippi River where it's wild, they don't understand. No. They think they've got wild water where they're at, and for them it is wild water, but it's just not the same.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's just
it is
things. But if somebody wants to compare apples, they don't have. I got an orange. They don't have. They got an apple. I got an orange.
Yeah.
Or I got an orange. They got an apple. A lot. Oh, I understand the Mississippi. There's so many different pools, and I'm sure Lyle's been on some. They're like a lake. They're about like the Ohio River. That's the ones I was talking about that I don't like to fish. Yeah. I've caught big fish in them. But I just don't like to fish them. If I'm on the Mississippi River and the wind is blowing at 12 miles an hour upriver and it's turning my boat sideways, I'm ready to get to another pool.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either. We've caught some 40 and 50
Mississippi River pools that runs like the Missouri.
Yeah.
And I don't even like the whole pool because a lot of these pools are the gradient is high from the dam about 2-3 miles down, and then all of a sudden it levels out, and it's like the Tennessee River. And I'm not knocking the Tennessee either. I'm just saying it's just not epic water.
Yeah,
for me.
We
but now
fished.
Creole's got all kinds of that. You've got all kinds of that on the Missouri, but that's what I'm acclimated to. That's what gets me excited. I like a little danger. I like a little bit of fast flow. I like the boils. I like when it comes around the curve and you actually feel as you're going down river, it drop and then drop and then drop. I do like that. Or rise. When you can feel the plane, when you're going along a river and there's no wind at all, but you can still feel a rise because it's got so much push.
Yeah.
What's his name convinced me to do that, and I can't do my hand signals So if it's got so much push that it looks flat, but yet you can feel your boat drop or you can feel it climb and rise,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Yeah, and that's why usually I don't ever remember running the Mississippi in my boat sitting down. You know, because in mine I have the option I can run it standing up, or so,
Yes.
you know, I always run the Mississippi standing up because I can see that long roll that's in
the
that
bulge.
river. You can't see it sitting down.
You can see the backflow. You can see
Oh, yeah,
the
I can see
forward
them.
bulge. You can
Yeah.
see where it,
Yeah, because that river's never flat.
No.
I've never seen it flat anyway. I doubt it ever is. There's always
Jeremy,
this little.
I could take you to some that look like just Lake Placid.
I wouldn't know what to do.
No, I know
Not
what
the-
to do,
Yeah.
but I just don't like it.
Now the Red River is like that over here by the house.
Pretty flat.
The Red River has like pools in it as it
Okay.
comes down towards me. In fact, there's 5 of them. There's 5 locking dams in the Red River, and they make pools. So I'm used to seeing that, but in the Red River, not here.
Where'd Lyle go?
I don't know. There ain't no telling.
Well,
Okay, he had to come back. He come out and come back in. There he is.
Yeah, I locked up on me. I was looking in chat, and there's a comment from Chester Wyatt. Would you put up or say Luke's channel? I will. It's Fish on Luke.
See, for some reason, my chat stopped scrolling. I don't know if my chat is locked up or what, but the last chat I saw was at 11:42 my time, and I know dang well ain't nobody chatted in 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody has.
Oh, I guess I'd have to refresh it or something like that, and that would probably
And then you'll have to bring yourself back into the stream.
that'd have to jack everything up.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
fellas, I'll tell you what, we've been on here for a little over 2 hours. So I believe, if y'all don't mind, I think we could go ahead and I'd like to go ahead and call it a night. I mean,
Absolutely. Thank you so much for giving me an
Yes.
invite. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
man, look,
Tim, it's always great visiting with you. I'm going to cut out of here and let you guys finish her off.
that'll work,
All right.
Lyle. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
good
All
to
right.
see you, Lyle.
You too, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, I've at some point I've lost chat, and I don't like not being able to talk to anybody in chat. You know what I mean? I know what's going to happen. I'm going to get out. I'm going to refresh it, and I'm going to have to start over anyway. You know how that is.
Yeah, I
So,
can
Tim-
see chat if I can't see you.
Yeah. So, Tim, if you want to hang on for just a second, guys, look, I appreciate everybody hanging around with me tonight. It's been awesome. We're gonna. I'm not saying I'm gonna do this every Saturday night, but this will not be the last time we do a late night chat. I promise. I had fun. We will be doing this again. So, to everybody out there, look, thank y'all. Y'all support me. I love it. And bon pêche, everybody. Appreciate it.